Hey guys, good morning. Stu Hill here with CHEM.digital. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few things. Real estate recruiting, and then I'm going to dive a little bit more into social media, off-site SEO. So yesterday we talked about on-site SEO, keywords, video, that sort of stuff. Today I want to review kind of blogging, keyword research for your blog topics, and then how to connect this offsite to a variety of sources. So we have an SEO analyzer tool on our website. For the most part, that gets utilized by agents, and pretty much on every single one of them, the area that is lacking is link building. So I did a blog post the other day related to Harrow, which is help a reporter out. So they send out an email 3 times a day, morning, noon, and afternoon. In that email, there's basically a bunch of links to questions that reporters have relating to a host of topics, and a couple of times a week I find something that's worth actually responding to. A lot of it is kind of related to pets or nursing or relationships, things like that. There's a bunch of finance stuff in there and questions about personal finance that's not really applicable to any of us, but every now and again, there's somewhere that I can comment back on some article, or at least be with the aim to be cited in some article related to real estate. So just drop my 2 cents in there, and hopefully that ends up as being cited or quoted in an article by a reporter for any news source. It could be from Forbes or Wall Street Journal, all the way down to some local magazine or newspaper or blog. So Harrow, check it out. HARO. It is it's a CISN service, free to sign up for. There's obviously some enhancements to your plan that you can purchase, but for the most part, I think the free version of that works. But real estate blogging, ChatGPT, as far as AI generated content and your blog, and then how that works with offsite SEO, so your social media keyword research around what you're posting on social media. All of these things, I want to kind of tie them together today before we move on to some other topics. But let's start with real estate recruiting. So for like 12 years now, we've been doing real estate recruiting, and this came about because I started a 100% company back in like 2009, and the premise of that was $500 a transaction, and $500 a transaction, $49.99 a month towards technology, etc. So that kind of covered the Microsoft account and what have you for the agents, and then a $4.95 transaction fee, $150 document archival fee that came from escrow. And obviously back in 2009, this was a new concept, so we had like 120 agents sign up in the first year for that, which was awesome. The way that we reached out to them was through our email database. So we have about 2 million agents nationwide now. In our email database, we market to them ourselves for real estate marketing services, but also we can cross-reference that geographically and also based on their production to create a target list for brokerages for the purposes of recruiting. So in that email, there's a call to action that when the agent clicks that, they end up in our, when the agent clicks the call to action, they go over to the broker's website. We immediately give them a call and try and sell the brokerage to them. Didn't used to be like that. The 120 agents that I hired, we did that on email alone, and generally that's because it was a brand new concept. So because everybody at that time was on 80-20 splits, 90-20 splits, what have you, $1,500 a year in E&O. It made a lot of sense. So we got a lot of demand very quickly. There was minimal conversation. It's like, look, it's $4.95 a transaction, $49.99 a month, and $150, $149 document archival fee. All of that stuff you could charge to the client. We charged them, our agents, $1,500 a year in E&O that covered that. And it made a lot of sense for a lot of people. Now the market is flooded. Everybody's at 100%, 110%, the technology training, all the rest of it. So email alone doesn't work anymore. So our real estate recruitment program, I'll pop the link in the description for this live feed, but our email recruitment program, now we added the calling into it, which made a huge difference. So you can have some guy out of the Philippines making 300 calls a day to agents, cold, no idea who it is, and they take pity appointments that nobody shows up to. So the result rate for cold calling for real estate recruiting has just gone to zero. There's very little results coming from that. There are some good real estate recruiting companies out there like Smart Setter. But again, the conversion rate is pretty low. If you're looking for a reliable, consistent recruiting strategy that works for many markets, not just high end, for different compensation packages that you might have to offer, then certainly taking a target list. So those, and we find that those doing sort of 6 to 15 transactions a year, that's kind of the sweet spot. Taking that target list and putting it together in email, pop them out when they click the call to action in the email. So the email should be really simple. What you have to offer, why it's worth taking a look at your website. Pop them over to the website, give them a call instantly, and get them on the phone. And usually the case is that they've clicked over because something's happened, something's going on at the current brokerage. So the level of consistency there is really key to the success in getting them on the phone. We'll have a quick chat with them, set up an informal meeting. Once again, we found that setting a specific time and date to meet a few days ahead of time, because of anybody doing an average of 10 transactions, the schedule changes. You've got an inspection coming up, you've got this, you've got that, all of those things tie together to be like to make that appointment move around. So just an informal introduction. Hey, I'll have Bob the broker give you a call back within the next couple of hours. Okay, that sounds great. And then just continue it on while they're still in that frame of mind. That works really well. So our real estate recruitment program works as email goes out, agent clicks the link to learn more after they've seen some basic details. We give them a call immediately. And from that point, we sell the brokerage, listen to their needs, wants, desires, aspirations. Ask them some quick fire questions. Hey, how's business? Where do you see yourself in 12, 24 months? Any issues with your current broker? That kind of stuff. This sounds like a good fit. Okay, let me have Bob give you a call back in the next 4 hours. Or next couple of hours. Okay, sounds great. Then you can feel them out for yourselves and hopefully set an appointment. So that, in a nutshell, is our real estate recruitment program. I wanted to dive into this topic of SEO today. So and one of the major factors. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to set this up. Okay, so in terms of offsite SEO, let me go to our blog here. Okay, so the topic of the blog post, this should be. We're trying to reduce the number of words here. Actually, they seem to rank a lot better these days if you can keep them. If you can keep the blog posts, the titles down to like 5 or 6 words. So the categories for your blog, and we and think of a category like a topic, right? So the categories for your blog, and these are some of ours: email marketing, IDX, lead gen, marketing, right? And I just got off a call with a guy out in the Washington DC area, and he's got about 15 cities that he's listed, and we were talking about the semantics of the how the cities work in terms of blog posts, and how the cities work in terms of creating that hierarchical approach. Now, he's been through WordPress websites. He's currently on Sierra Interactive, although I think we found some flaws within that system as far as optimizing your content and creating content that works together. So different mediums: video, email, the actual blog post itself, and then tying that into social media. So we've identified these: so real estate CRM, email marketing, IDX, lead gen, marketing in general, pay-per-click, SEO, social media, technology, websites. These are our topics, the topics of everything that we cover. So starting with a topic, from that point you can fork out into your subtopics, and then you can fork the subtopics out into other subtopics from there. So in terms of SEO, we've got here, as I'm just kind of scrolling through our blog, we've got luxury real estate SEO for agent websites, and that then underneath, so SEO being the primary category, luxury real estate SEO for agent websites being a secondary. Additional, you can have keyword luxury. So then luxury real estate SEO, luxury real estate SEO, luxury real estate SEO for agent websites, luxury real estate SEO keywords. All of these things kind of work together in this hierarchy to delve deeper into a topic. And if you take that principle and you put it into the terms of like an agent website, so you've got a city like San Francisco, you've got districts within San Francisco, you've got houses, you've got condos, you've got townhomes, you've got homes with a view, homes with a rooftop, homes, buildings with a doorman. You've got all of these different kind of lower tier subcategories that you can dive into. For each one of them in your keyword strategy, you should think about how that lays out in terms of making the content accessible to the user that's making the search. So is the search, and again, Google's looking at the user experience, and their user is the person searching. So bring in relevant content, or rather, I think their mission statement is to make information accessible to the world. So so they're looking at the user. What is that user's intent when they're making that search? So if you back up a little bit on that, you say, okay, you've got a buyer, right? And traffic's good. And actually, in this conversation that I had, half an hour ago, there's a video that the guy made on crab cakes, and it got a surprising amount of traffic. Like, people are searching for Annapolis crab cakes like 1,000 times a month. And I was like, okay, may have to go and try these crab cakes. If you take that back to, but however, the intent of that person searching is not somebody that's looking to buy real estate. So while we're generating traffic to the website, we're not generating traffic with intent to do business with that particular real estate agent. We're just generating traffic related to people that are interested in crab cakes and who's not. So expanding on his SEO strategy, it's like, okay, that's great. We've got a ton of traffic coming in related to crab cakes and other things. How do we find buyers and sellers, and how do we expand your strategy to, that's great brand advertisement, right? Your name, your logo, your picture is on all of these pages, and and the videos that you've done related to this topic. But how do we create traffic with search intent? The answer to that is to add in some stuff that is specifically related to real estate. So you want some targeted terms around homes that are for sale, condos for sale, waterfront homes for sale, new homes for sale, luxury homes for sale, within a specific topic or area or city or whatever it is. So let's say, the city is the topic, real estate, or real estate is the primary topic, the city is the subtopic, and then the type of real estate, or buy or sell is the next level down, and then from there the type of how much is my condo worth in Chicago. So the next level down is the type. So while there's not as many searches done, it might just be 20 to 40 to 100 a month in a metropolitan area for those terms. If you can cover 1,000 different variations or related terms on that, you can take 20 searches, right, multiply by 1,000 different pages that you rank number one for, and you can come out with being ranked number one essentially for search terms that cumulatively have 20,000 searches a month done. So that's really the long tail keyword strategy for that. Now, there's on page, there's off page. So one of the big areas that everybody lacks in seems to be links or backlinks. So links back to your website, and we covered this yesterday. Links back to your website are give your content an air of validity. So if there's a link, if you're cited in Forbes, right, there's a link back to your website. Anybody you can spin that, you can use that in a few different ways, but it's all positive. And that link back to your website from a high quality domain with a lot of traffic, that says a lot about their value of your content. A link back from a domain with an average amount of traffic, so things like a blog on the local chamber of commerce, or even a school, or various other localized sources, in addition to the news media, where you can find backlinks. That goes a long way towards adding some third-party kudos, I guess, as they call them on Reddit. But it gives you some weight, because other people are linking to you, which shows that you've got value in your content, and that drives it up. So off-site SEO, as opposed to the on-site, the technical stuff, right? Headers, keywords, descriptions, meta tags, schema, all that's on-site stuff. Off-site SEO, on the other hand, is relevant to, are you posting, are all of your blog posts from your website getting pushed automatically to social media? YouTube, are you linking back from your video to your blog post, and are you embedding that video within your blog post to create some reciprocity there within the links? what do you have in the way of a backlink profile? Who's linking to your website, to what content, and why? So developing this rounded strategy on the basis of kind of 4 points, which would be at the bottom, the technical platform that you're using for your real estate website, then on-page SEO and the content that's on your website, backlinks to your website from other sources, among other, and then obviously page speed and things like that, and accessibility, that add a few different check marks to the list of things that you should be doing to make your website and your content accessible to all. So tying those things together, that is the foundation of a solid strategy for boosting your website's visibility online. Social media on WordPress is very easy. So we use a tool called Hootsuite. Whenever a post is made, a blog post is published to our website, and that includes video, it includes what else? Question and answers. That automatically then pushes the content to LinkedIn, Twitter, Reddit. What else? Instagram doesn't do it anymore. They used to have an API. They shut down portions of that, so Instagram doesn't work so well. And Twitter, if I didn't already mention Twitter, it sends the blog post with the cover image or with a custom image that we use in the case of videos like this one. YouTube being a video search engine, they scan what's the word for it? Frames. That's it. They scan frame by frame for what's in the video. So while listening to the audio track of the video, frame by frame, they're looking at the content within the video. So having that cover image on YouTube is important. So here, in this example, we've highlighted it with a yellow background with a high contrast purple text. That the title of the video, the description of the video, and then in the thumbnail for the video, this is also showing. So as YouTube scans this frame by frame, they can see what's in there. They listen to the audio track. They read the subtitles, that the transcription of the video that we add to YouTube separately, and all of those things work together to help us to rank in YouTube. Now, I can post a video on YouTube, and that will show up within the Google search results in about 5 minutes. So because I'm regularly posting, that search result is showing up within about 5 minutes. Additionally, that when I post on YouTube, that video is downloaded into our website, that then reposts that video to Twitter, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, and to Reddit. So all at the same time as me posting that video on YouTube, it's getting blasted out to all of the social media networks at the same time. And the majority of our traffic comes from organic search, from social, and then from email as well. So we use a plugin in WordPress called MailPoet. Once that content comes down, once the blog post goes up and is sent out to all of the social media channels, then MailPoet takes that blog post and at 2 o'clock every day whacks out an email to 110,000 of you guys that subscribe to my real estate marketing blog. So all of those things combined, we're generating streams of traffic from multiple different sources and cross-referencing each one of them, so that when the blog post goes up within the hour, there's a YouTube video, a blog post, a Twitter post, a link to our website for the actual blog post, and also a paid Google sponsored ad that sits at the top of the whole thing. All of it, because of this hierarchical effect, we try and keep on one topic. These lives, I'm covering a few different things every day, but for the purpose of an actual video and a blog post, we try to keep to one simple topic and put some sort of call to action in there. It's great to generate traffic, and the gentleman I spoke to earlier, as I mentioned, that has this tremendous following for crab cakes. That's fantastic. However, and it's great for branding and everything else. But where's the call to action for the real estate in that? It's very difficult to kind of turn that traffic into something related to real estate unless it's unless the guy's serving crab cakes at as a pop-up at his open houses, which might be an interesting parlay from one thing to the other. So that's that's how we run our blog strategy. Again, it comes down to kind of keyword research, figuring out what it is that you should be talking about now and in the future. So the seasonal trends. There's try and prepare ahead of time a little bit. Keyword research is really where people struggle. If you have if you want to find out the keywords that are appropriate for your website, I would suggest go to our site, CHEM.digital. Use the SEO, the real estate SEO analyzer tool that's on our website. Run a report on there. It'll send a link. We'll get a copy of that link, right? Take that and let us run some keywords. Let us run some keyword research for you and kind of figure out where the direction might want to be in terms of what you should focus on in the way of your videos, what your competitors are doing, and sort of what direction you want to take that. So anyway, thanks for watching today. Really appreciate it. If you found any of this information useful, please click the like button on this video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions whatsoever in terms of real estate marketing, real estate recruiting, social media, or anything else you can think of in the way of marketing your real estate business, please just go to CHEM.digital. That's https://chem, CHEM.digital. Use the free consultation button in the top right hand corner of our screen or our website, and pick a time that works. We'd love to talk to you and see how we can help your real estate business grow. Thanks so much for watching.